What's good? It's been a minute, but you know, I have the show face. It was good. What's up? Let's see how this stream goes. Probably been a couple months, but your boy's been busy. How y'all doing? How's life? How's the collective flow? What's up, Anna? What's good, Jeff? Hey, Brooke. What's poppin'? What's good, Sean? Gang. All my favorite people in here. What's good? What y'all been up to? I've been working on building out a bunch of things that I'm really excited to launch. But that's as much as I can say about it. But it's going to be really, really big. Very, very excited. Thank you. It's a good dream. I don't know, it's been like a couple months. What's up, Vision? Good to see you. I think I haven't streamed since like maybe December or something like that. But I've been grinding, building out multiple different projects. I have assistants now, which is very great in different fields. And yeah, gonna launch a couple campaigns and then the Discord, and then I'm creating a private group chat for ACC. That's what I can mention, but it's been a long way coming. I've like been studying so many things outside of the realm of esoteric, more so like business related content. You know, studying AI, stuff like that. On top of that, integrating my knowledge of magic with those assets. So that's pretty cool. But all the stuff that I've been working on for like over a decade is still coming through, and much more rapidly so now. So I'm excited for that. Very excited for that. I wanted to come on here and talk about the topic of the soul, the levels and stages in which the soul goes through in order to evolve and advance, and more so how we are not locked into any time-space paradigm, which gets really fascinating, and it's a topic that we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about. I do. I still use Telegram. I post like things that happen in the world that I can't post on here. It's mainly what I use it for. It's good, Tani. Can't we just opt out? Of what exactly? Blessings, food. Blessings, Atlanta. Yeah, so basically, I actually created a slide recently about this. It's pretty fun, but it's for someone, so. Speaking on the topic of the soul, a soul, here, let me show you images, because that's always helpful. I'm really stoked because I'm going to be building out so many presentations that are going to be available on the website. Just looking for one image right now. See my presentations. Okay. Got it. Alright, so the soul starts with a spark. It's really interesting too, like the connection between the zinc spark and channeling codex of a soul into a body. So the zinc spark is essentially like a spark that happens when consciousness inhabits the egg. The egg, through cellular mitosis. Through cellular mitosis, one point of differentiation splits into 2, 4, 8, 16, so on and so forth. And these are all numerics for memory storage in digital systems. The digital replicates the organic. So, vice versa, you can understand the organic worlds through the digital space. It starts from a point of differentiation, which is awareness itself. It has a boundary layer, which is its field. This is the top-down view of a torsion field. Biophotons are particulates of photonic light that X marks the spot. I can talk about that after too. Biophotonic light, when you zoom in on it, is the configuration of the flower of life, right? The flower of life is a geometry that is utilized for matrices or matrix systems. So light, or the spirit, can inhabit matrices in order to reflect in the realm of duality, in order to experience itself and go through the alchemical processes, which is... let's see. I'm going to scroll through these real quick. So there are 12 stages in alchemical transmutation, but there's really only 7, which is calcination, dissolution, separation, conjunction, fermentation, distillation, and coagulation. Metals, molecules, matter goes through these stages in order to evolve, but so too does the soul, also known as the philosopher's stone, which is the soul. If you look up stone fruit, peaches, pears, nectarines, they have this thing called the stone fruit, which is essentially its heart. And therein lies like one of the secrets of the philosopher's stone. The philosopher's stone is the heart of man himself, which is an entire universe, right? The measure of man is his mind. So if we go back here, and then we look at a hydrogen wave function, this point creates a dispersion field, and it follows the same pattern. The first pattern it really creates is this one, which is the hologram of a single photon. This photon is the literal image of light. It's the symbol of light itself, which also comes from the Templar Knights and Templar crosses, right? The original Templar Knights were a set of warrior monks that were petitioned by the first Guardian races in order to protect the Stargate systems on our planet, which are essentially on the ley lines, right? Megalithic monuments, pyramid structures. Those are essentially hard drive systems that allow beings to port inside and out of systems. So when you understand this, you can basically see the entirety of the Matrix as a digital system, and the ley line points as acupuncture points of the Earth, but also nodal systems that circuit etherically through through plasma in order to access different realms or archetypes of mind, right? So going through that, let's go back to the soul. So the soul is so if you actually go into the book of Genesis in the Holy Bible, right, the Helios Biblios, if you read line for line, the first couple passages, it gives you the numeric codings of how to build out the flower of life formation, which is wild. And the soul then goes through 4 different kingdoms in evolutionary consciousness, and it experiences almost every single body before it's able to get to the next density or next kingdom, right? So we start off in the mineral kingdom, which is a realm of almost molecular compounds, where when you can think of they're like base elemental formations, and when the elements commune and converge, they enter the plant kingdom. So it now has a particular molecular consciousness, which is akin to the constellations, which is why molecules look like constellations, because they're microcosmic expression of the macrocosmic body of awareness. From the plant kingdom, we then enter the animal kingdom, right? So basically, the plants eat the minerals consciousness gets absorbed and rewritten in the codex of the plant kingdom, and then the animals eat the plant, and that consciousness enters the animal kingdom, and from the animal kingdom, it enters the crystalline kingdom, which is the human kingdom, which is water, coded water consciousness. And so, when it enters the human kingdom, we have to go through the alchemical stages of the wheel of samsara. So within each degree of the astrological chart, there's 15 degrees in between each, right? And once you have completed each sector or each wheel in every single degree, you would have had fostered the Philosopher's Stone, which is why people reincarnate like millions of times. Like the shortest amount of times that someone's incarnated and completed the human game is 50,000 incarnation cycles, which tells you a lot, right? But you can fast track these evolutionary processes by coming here to study what you are, who you are, where you came from, what's possible out there, what the soul really is, and how it's able to meet its true divine light, right? So within our genetic template, right, they say we have a double helix. At one point, we used to have 12-strand helixes, and those were stripped from us because the geneticists that created us in the Nagamadi scriptures, the Anunnaki, some of them didn't believe that we deserved their, Enlil mainly, didn't believe that we deserved their level of consciousness and awareness, which is also in the Bible. Like the original god of the Garden of Eden story is actually Enlil, which is an ancient, like dark side, dualistic consciousness, sleeping yuga archetype, and also entity. And those beings get to rule over 25,000 year precession cycles. So essentially there's a sleep cycle, and then there's a wake cycle, and then there's a sleep cycle. And right now what's today? The 16th? Yeah. So as of yesterday, we just crossed over Kali Yuga into the Yuga after, basically. So now we're in the age of Aquarius, right? According to the stars, which is pretty cool. In this age, Aquarius is the water bearer, but she's the air sign. So the water means mind, means man, means reflection, right? If you look up the hieroglyph for water in Egypt, it actually means mind. So water is a form of crystalline consciousness. Crystals are able to capture memory and store data, which is why it's associated with the mind. It also is able to exist in 3 different states: solid, gaseous, and liquid, right? Which our consciousness is able to do as well. It's not local to the body. It can leave and go to different sectors of reality, crystallize coherence, resonate that back through a feedback loop into the mental sphere, and we're able to capture information from the mental field and other realms and other avatars in which we reside in. And because time and space does not exist, so for instance, we are in space moving throughout time, but in 4th dimension, in the 5th dimension, which is the astral planes in harmonic universe 2, we are in time moving throughout space, right? So yes. So this is how we're able to access different variant avatar selves from alternate timelines to access informations from parallel realms. And because every single reality must exist, we are able to cross-reference between these aspects of the soul many different forms of information. What's that music? Many different aspects, many different forms of information. So there's a whole system with that too, where I utilize, I've been doing this for probably a year now, where I picked up this system where I would circuit my my consciousness and my identity stations with the other sectors of myself. And it brings in a vast amount of information and knowledge. I wake up just knowing things, and I would look them up, and sure enough, it's a pre-existing system already, which it's kind of eerie, but it shows you that we have these abilities. The soul in itself is a star. S-O-L, star, right? Soul, solar system, star system. We're souls. We're also a walking pentagram, right? And your soul self has alternate variants all across the multiverse, but you're able to directly connect with your soul self because your soul has a distinctive signature or geometric construct, if you're looking at it from an astrological point of view, right? So the soul goes through these different evolutionary stages, right? The mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, crystalline kingdom, and then after that, after you've graduated every single degree of the Wheel of Samsara, you will have entered the next harmonic universe with your other 12 twins as one being, your immediate soul circle. You will then enter the angelic kingdom. Humans are made to be angels. This body here in this realm is a pupil, and we need to go through the practices of rainbow body ascension, or understanding your morphogenic fields, your biofields, your auric field, right, your chakra system, the duality of them, converge them back to one in order to be able to ascend into rainbow body, into the angelic body, where you'll have wings, right? Our entire skeletal system, if we look at it, which, let's pull it up. So, oh, give me one sec. Okay, here we go. How fun. Okay. So the entire human body is essentially, it's an avatar, right? It's an avatar suit that the soul utilizes to experience duality through in the realm of the duat. And all of these, where you're essentially an evolved sperm cell with organs and glands that are chakra centers that are able to sing different frequencies and tap into different harmonies that are directly correlated and connected to the planetary stars. The planets are directly connected to the word plant as well, right? Because it's a plant net. It's the macrocosmic kingdom of the plant system. So we're going to look at the skeletal system right here. The torso is actually a torsion field. The spine is a djed pillar that also hosts, it's a Tesla coil, essentially. It has the spine and the head of the torsion field, which is the crown, right? Our physical avatars are literally made to ascend into higher octaves. This is a cocoon body. This is a chrysalis body, right? Everything in our skeletal system is built like an organic particle accelerator. Light enters this kingdom through here, splits itself off into 7 different major sections, and it has minor sections as well. And then it reascends. The purpose is to reascend, right? While it's still in body, practicing the art of dying. Also, when you're looking at the spine, and now it's circuited to the organs and glands, your nervous system too, right? This is all computer programming. The digital copies the organic. So do you see, look at that, it's so intelligently designed. Do you see how our avatars are actually digital networks? Or you're able to understand it in the process of the digital space, because it just copies what's organic. And everything's a mirror of everything else, right? So if we're looking at reflexology, for instance, we're looking at the ear. It has every single part, all the organs and glands inside of the ear. We have every single part in our feet and in our hands. All of our appendages. They're all directly linked and connected to a system that is based off of the planes that exist. Planets. I do save my life sometimes. May save this one. Seems like a good one so far. Yes, angles of light. Angels of light. High level convo. Sort of. It is. It is in a way, but then it's also, we're not even scratching the surface yet. There's just like preliminary knowings. You have reptile in your DNA, man. We all do. Archons. Funny. We can get into that too. What about the fungi kingdom, plants? Yeah, I would love to talk about that too. We'll talk about that right now, actually. But before that, I just want to catch up with your guys' messages. How they tie into the Rosicrucians. And, sorry, Knight Templar, how are they associated? So, the Rosicrucians are essentially a sister school of the Freemasons. It's called the Rosy Cross, where they essentially, when they rebooted the OTO system, which is like Order of the Owl, and also the Golden Dawn system, Crowley essentially rewrote it, and Rosicrucians is like the sister school of that. There's other like schools too that I won't name, but they essentially belong to the original order. The original order of the illuminated ones, which is what Illuminati means, right? Were guardians that were petitioned from founder races, which are interdimensional extraterrestrials that reside within the 12D space in Harmonic Universe 5. And these beings petitioned the first Templar Knights as guardians of Stonehenge, which was a Stargate at one point. And then after that, those sectors got infiltrated by, certain beings that then changed their name to that, and then the real ones had to go into hiding. So a lot of stuff that we hear in like public news about, like, I won't even say the name because I don't really like mentioning keywords, but the illuminated ones, right? They're not really the illuminated ones. They're like a break-off civilization of the originals, which were actually benevolent in nature. And then into fungus, mycelial networks. Mushrooms don't come from our planet. They're an alien species that come from the stars, and they're able to survive in deep space as well. And what they do is they have a direct symbiotic relationship with the plant kingdom in every single planet. So the plants are directly connected to the planets and the archetypal knowledge of these realms. So certain mycelial networks and spores have the ability to directly commune with the psyche. And so they act as like a login port for beings who ingest, like Amanita muscaria, for instance. If you look it up, it is a red and blue mushroom with like a dress. You can look it up and see the correlations between the Pope in Vatican and also like the Super Mario mushroom, right? It's hidden in our pop culture, essentially, as like a one more life, right? You also, when you partake in them, you go through an ego dissolving, which essentially strips you from attachments from the physical body so that you're able to travel the stars as you are. Mycelial networks also find paths of least resistance, and they're essentially an organism that allows for pathways and channels for water to run through so that the plants are able to get proper nutrition. But then it's also directly connected to all of the trees, and all of the trees essentially act as antennas. So you can think of this as an ancient organic internet interface. And that's what it is. That's why when you tap into the consciousness of psilocybin, your body is almost acting like it's a device that is able to pick up the Wi-Fi routers of plants that then allow you to connect and circuit with informations within your environment, but then also the stars. The Egyptians understood this, which is why they were an entire culture of consciousness expansion, as well as mycelium. Like, they basically, if you look at all of antiquity of the ancient Egyptians, let me pull up some images. They were a society that worshipped mushrooms. Like, it's all mushroom worship. All of their headdresses, all of their statues. Let me see if I can find like proper ones. The Eye of Horus, it's literally a mushroom. I think it's hidden in my other folder. I'll have to organize it later. So, just to continue for the sake of this conversation, because I want to lose track. There's a lot more I can say about ancient Egypt and their magical systems too, but don't really feel like we need to dive into that right now. So going back to Plant Kingdom, the soul and how it evolves goes to the Plant Kingdom, then goes through the Wheel of Samsara. The soul has to then incarnate into each zodiac sign and complete every single degree of every zodiac sign before it has the ability to transcend. When you die, various things can happen, right? You'll come upon what is known as the Thodol lights, and this is in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. But then some of this is also spoken in the Egyptian Book of the Dead funeral rites. Let me pull up. Something real quick. Okay. And then I'll get to questions after. So the Bardo, so when you Bardo, you essentially opt out and you reset over again, which happens sometimes. Like when people commit suicide or something, they Bardo out, they opt out, and they essentially end up as cosmic dust, and it takes them like aeons to enter a planetary kingdom for their soul to go through the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, then the human kingdom. Something that happens. And in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, various things can happen, but I'm going to list them off. So if there's a white light, these are peaceful deities, symbolizing the peaceful and wrathful deities. The white light represents the pure, peaceful aspects of consciousness. Recognition of this light leads to liberation. There's also the red light, which is passion. The light symbolizes the passions and desires that can hinder the journey toward enlightenment. It serves as a reminder to transcend attachment and aversion. And there's the blue light, blue radiance, which is voidness, representing the nature of reality. The blue light signifies the voidness or emptiness. Recognition of this light is crucial for understanding the ultimate nature of existence. This is also very powerful. I'll talk about the blue pearl that the dragon holds after. But there's the greenish white light, which are Buddha families, and this light represents the archetypal Buddha families, each associated with specific qualities. Recognition of these aspects aid in the process of purification and transformation. And then there's the reddish white light, peaceful, wrathful. So combining the qualities of peace and wrath, this light signifies the unity of opposites. Recognition of this light is an opportunity for transcending dualistic thinking. And then we have three more. Reddish yellow light, which are wrathful deities, symbolizing the wrathful deities. This light represents the intense transformative forces in consciousness. Recognition of these forces lead to liberation from fear. Then black near attainment light, which is the light that represents near attainment of enlightenment. Recognition of this stage is a crucial step towards the realization of one's true nature, which I want to talk about. All true light is birthed from pure darkness. All true light is birthed from void. Everything in existence is birthed from there. You can read the book of Genesis and it'll literally show you how light is birthed. So in order to transmute and purify things into its essence and quintessential lights, you have to recognize the game of duality in transmuting darkness to light. Bringing consciousness to the unconscious or subconscious spaces is how one transcends dualistic limitations. Then there's the clear light, which is the Dharmakaya, the ultimate light. It represents the clear, luminous nature of mind, void of all conceptual elaborations. Recognition of this light is the key to attaining enlightenment and breaking free from the cycle of rebirth. So basically, when you die, there will also be some beings that will bring you the white light as a false matrix reality to have you reincarnate again. So what you do is you actually don't go towards the light. You turn around into the void of darkness and you realize that you are the light and you become the clear Dharmakaya, clear light. And that's how you transcend the wheel itself. That's how you leave the game. In Egypt, your soul had to obtain rainbow body in order to, let me just bring it up, Egyptian death ritual. this image. Kind of blurry, but it'll make do. Oops. Okay. So this is the initiate. This is you, right? Led by Anubis, the guardian of life and death. Anubis is also associated with Sirius A and Sirius B, the dog star constellations that guard Orion, which is also Osiris, right? So Anubis leads you to be weighed on the scales of Ma'at, that's Ma'at, which represents balance and justice and duality and all that. And it weighs your heart against the feather. Thoth inscribes the soul. And then this is the gator that essentially eats corrupted souls, which is really intense. But then if you pass, if your heart is lighter than a feather, which means if your auric field of your soul is light enough, it doesn't have any dualistic attachments to the material kingdom or the earthly realms or any emotional attachments to any dualistic charges in the body, then you're able to pass. And Horus, which is the sun, takes you before Osiris, which is Orion. And Orion then gifts you safe passage into the field of wreaths. This is heaven, their heaven. And the field of wreaths is broken into 14 different characters. When you divide those characters, it equals 7, which are the 7 major chakras. So these are all cryptic, internalized messages that were left for us to understand the process of the soul and how to ascend. So once a person has attained rainbow body or lightness in the soul, they're able to pass through the firmament, the layers of energetic dome systems that keep the simulation inside of the simulation. So essentially there's exit ports. If you have particular keys or codes to be able to open up systems, right? Red doors to walk through where there are other doors behind it. Which is why it's all like that symbolically in secret societies. I know someone said I had reptilian DNA. Everyone has reptilian DNA. Everyone on our planet was spliced with 22 different genome projects from extraterrestrial races from all around the galaxy. So we have a reptilian mind, which is our cerebellum, thinks purely on logic, and then we have our ascended mind, which is our prefrontal cortex, that allows us to be in tune with emotions and empathy and tap into long waves rather than short waves, because short waves are essentially processed through the cerebellum, right? I'm gonna catch up with some of your stuff right now in a second, but I want to finish the story. So the soul goes through these stages, right? And then we, through the kingdoms, the 4 kingdoms, and then the person dies. And then when they die, there are various things that can happen. I don't really want to list it off because there's so many, right? You can get falsely reincarnated. You can be brought into a false matrix. You can enter different kingdoms. But mainly what happens is the soul is brought before the council of elders, which are beings that live in the Akashic plane, and they have your book of life, and they show you your book of life, and they judge you on things you've done. Not in the sense of you did this wrong and you should be punished for it, but more so you look at your book of life and you're like, damn, I get it now. I understood what I was supposed to do and why I did, and I could have done better here, and I think I'm going to work on that in my next life. So it's more so like that. It's not this divine harsh judgment. It's more so of a soul catalog that you look through, if you want to think about it like that. And you're usually met by someone that you're familiar with. It could be a family member or a soul twin that you just know inherently. And then they take you before your immediate circle. And your immediate circle is made of 12. So these are the 12 other variant aspects of you that exist as the other 12 zodiac signs, or Horuses, hours of the day, right? Suns, lights, souls, stars. And within this group, whoever is immediately across from you is your twin soul. But you all take turns in every single aspect of the circle to be twins. So in true essence, we have 12 twin selves. And these twins will rarely, because I'm going to talk about it because, you know, people love the topic of twin souls and twin flames and all that shit. Humans over-romanticize shit, okay? Your twin self is your direct corresponding soul mirror. And they're meant to show up in your life to show you who you are and how to work towards ascension, okay? Soul partners are completely different. They are groups of souls that belong to other circles that you create pacts with in different lifetimes that become part of your soul family, right? So, and I say this because I don't like, because in our community, there's always stuff about like twin flame relationships, and I met my twin. You only ever meet your twin in your last reincarnation cycle. So, if you're in your, so like, your twin self will not even incarnate into the same planet at the same time. They'll probably come in like a decade later or something like that, if it is your last lifetime. And you'll be in different countries or different states. And in order to magnetize their frequency into your life, you have to be doing your soul work. You have to be doing shadow integration. You have to heal every single one of your chakras and the dualistic emotions between them, and be in resonance of your true soul frequency for that aspect of you to resonate into your reality. This is how manifestation works. It's magnetic attraction, right? Which is also how we connect and circuit with other people. It's through our chakra system. If someone has like positive and negative, attracts as a magnet, right? So if there's positives and negatives in a person's auric field in their chakra, that's how they link and that's how they vibe with one another. So, with that stated, don't be falling for no twin flame psychic people who are telling you, oh, that is your twin soul, and then getting trapped in a karmic loop of karmic relationships, building more karma, because that shit's dangerous. Alright, moving on from that. Your twin selves will be in your 12 immediate soul circles. You're able to stay in the astral plane as long as you want. There's no time or space there, so it's not linear the way it is here. So you can travel to Antares or Pleiades or the Vegan star system and visit and learn the things there. Earth is one of the only planes where we have complete amnesia and lose all memory and thought processes of who we are and where we've been across the galaxy as a soul, right? And it's like playing the game on very hard mode. So if you're here playing the fucking game, I commend you. And also, if you're here on this journey with me, I fucking commend you. Because people only interface with this type of information if it's a part of their soul lineage. So I trust that everyone on here is hearing this for a particular reason. So you're able to incarnate. You can incarnate on Jupiter and be a fucking astral dragon playing Chi-Ball tag, which is apparently something that they do. After that, you're then going to want to reincarnate because you want to complete your cycle. And also, it's kind of like in the job description to also carry the boats, if you will, for your other 12 selves so that you can get to the next level of the game, right? The next harmonic universe interval of the game as angelic and astral deities. So you'll be given 3 choices between 3 bodies. And these 3 bodies, you'll know exactly what will happen in each one of them. There will be the fates of each one of these, the destinies of each one of these, and you'll know exactly what you will learn in that lifetime. All the contracts will be written out for exactly who you will meet and what type of lessons you will learn together, right? So those who have the hardest lives are literally the brightest souls, choosing the correct mirror reflections to remind them of who the fuck they are and how powerful they are. Right? So boom, reincarnation, come back, complete the wheel of samsara, get to the next harmonic universe. That is the journey of the soul. It is the hero's journey from Joseph Campbell. It is merged with alchemy and the understanding of like the original Emerald Tablet of how to transmute the soul itself through the 7 different stages of complete destruction, dissolution, recombination, refinement, and then going through those stages. Getting to the White King, the Red King, or the White Queen and the Red King, which is the Philosopher's Stone, and then re-going through that process over and over and over again. Destroying, recreation, like life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, life, death, rebirth, over and over again in your psyche, in how you see the world, and how you see yourself, in how you fit in the mold of your environment, in how you understand the laws of the universe and the laws of attraction and karma. Like, it's all directly associated with the alchemical process of stages of 7, which again are the 7 chakras, right? Everything's an echoed mirror of light transducing and transmuting itself into alternate spectrums of light. Hence, we started from the biophoton and the birth of the soul and the kingdoms that it goes through and the realms it has to overcome in order to complete the Philosopher's Stone. And then, boom. Next harmonic interval, next harmonic universe. That's how it works. From my knowledge and my studies, which is a combination of various different systems, various different ancient civilizations speaking a similar pattern over and over again, so I'm able to be in recognition of it. Like in the Christic blueprint, when you obtain rainbow body, it's known as the millennial body of Christ. And a lot of these depictions and images actually deal with ancient interdimensional extraterrestrials, which people call angels, right? And in the rainbow body aspect of the bodhisattvas, it's pure completion of every, like pure completion detachment from every single chakra system. So your root is dictated by fear, or no, your root is dictated by survival, but it's blocked by fear, right? So you'll want to understand the dual poles and merge them and come into full acceptance of it. And then your sacral chakra is dictated by pleasure, but it's blocked by guilt. Your solar plexus is dictated by willpower, but it's blocked by shame. Your heart is dictated by love, but it's blocked by grief. Your throat is dictated by truth, but it's blocked by lies that you tell yourself and lies that others tell you. Your third eye is dictated by pure insight, but it's blocked by the illusion of separation. Your crown is dictated by pure cosmic energy, but it's blocked by earthly attachments. So once you go through each one of these levels of consciousness within yourself and have come into full acceptance and recognition of their nature and their quintessence and their purpose, you then get to a stage where you don't have attachments to the human body. And you recognize the human body is just a vehicle, like an in-game avatar that you utilize in order to experience measurable aspects of reality. That's the point of this realm, right? Then you merge your knowledge of the physical world into the realm of the astral, which is the subconscious space. And you recognize that the conscious and the subconscious are one and the same. And then you merge the realms. And this is like one of the first processes of initiation into the craft itself of being a magical being, whatever, a magician, is you understand the truth within duality itself, right? Dark and light are one and the same. Life and death wear the same exact mask. And of course, you know, your boy is privy to this type of information because I was born on the spring equinox. So I was born right between the cusp of the beginning and the end of the year. So I literally am the Alpha Omega. And because I am, my elements are fire and water. Fire and water together create steam. The consciousness of steam rises to the heavens and then is able to trickle down water droplets to the earthly kingdom. This is how these things have come to me naturally and how I've been able to study these things and be in connection and communion with these type of realms and informations. But it's something that we all have within us innately to be able to recognize and come into union with the right guidance. Do planets or planets have the ability to capture a person in their consciousness? Yes, everything does. Everything that sings a similar harmonic tone has the ability to associate that point of awareness to it. It could be temporarily, it could be permanent, it could be a variety of things. Please save. Love to listen again. I will. Like you belong to the club you subscribe to. Yes. Keep with the scruff. Thanks. Nice to shave. Illuminati, naughty light workers. True. Facts. Factual. Smurf, Santa. Yes, Smurfs and Santa. Where have you gotten this information from? There's something I've never heard. It's through my over a decade of studying the craft, many different systems, many different ancient civilizations and cultures, many different forms of magics and systems of magic, and also merging it in with, like, technomancy. I'm a polymath. So, I'm versed in a variety of things. Trees communicate through them. Yes. There's a book called Hidden Life of Trees. Nice. Love to rewatch this live. So grateful for these codes. For sure. What's good, Metatron? Bardo. Yes. Look it up. I don't think there was a pink light, but, you know, reddish white, I guess, would be pink. Scales of Mott. Nike. I know. Fucking Goddess of Victory. Here. True story, bro. Book of Secrets. Mentor the ancestors. Yeah, I like creating... What's good, Chaka? I like creating systems of knowledge like this, and I'm going to be creating presentations and also videos and a bunch of other things on these types of topics, because it's just something that has been hidden for so long, but, like, with images and everything to prove to those who, like, don't really understand. I can talk to an NPC and explain things that are far out there, and they'll be like, yeah, I have no fucking... I can't debate with you, because it is what it is. Like, the information is there, it's also found in quantum mechanics, and it's provable. So we're essentially merging the realms of metaphysics with physics. Right? No, this is a filter that I use to represent the moon and the sun. How to connect or know the previous life. Only future believing. So yeah, we highlighted being able to commune with your alternate soul selves from other timelines. There's a specific way that you can do that, which I think I'm going to create a course on it, because it's a lot to explain here. But it's also very simple. I can give, like, a cheat method, but then, like, I don't want to do that, because you need to really embody, like, certain levels of responsibility before you can utilize things like this. And it's a thing, too, where I've talked to other people where they're like, what the fuck, you can do this shit? Like, you can astral project, you can communicate with alternate aspects of yourself from different timelines. Yes, I can. But how I've gotten here is I went through the preliminary stages. You have to do the shadow work. You have to do the chakra cleansing. You have to really meet yourself. Otherwise, you'll project to lower astral kingdoms. You'll project to meet lower astral entities, and that's very dangerous. And it's also not something that's enjoyable to experience, right? So it's important to work on the self from very elementary stages for at least a year or so before, like, for instance, I studied magic for 7 years before I practically applied it. You have to be very cautious and very mindful of the things that you tap into, because you can't unring a bell. Some doors that you open, you can't close, and you need to go about it wisely. You can't just be like, oh, I want to astral project and do all this shit. Well, what is the purpose of knowing how to do this stuff? If there's no soul intention behind it and you just want to fuck around to see what exists, then it's kind of like taking any psychedelic plant substance to experience cool visions without knowing where the fuck you're actually going or having an intent. It's basically like booking a flight and being like, I don't know where I want to go. Which is ridiculous. You don't do that, right? Or it's like getting in the car and driving for the ride of it, and you're just like, yeah, we don't have a destination, we're just driving around. It's kind of like that. But anyways, very important to go through preliminary stages as a student of the craft, and then getting to experience fucking amazing things that your soul is meant to do. And I use this example a lot, right? Like, you're in a game, you're in a sim, you're in a holographic, you're in a high-tech holographic MMO RPG, right? If we're playing Pokemon, do you really want to stay in Pallet Town fighting Rattata and Sparrow for a majority of your life and then you die? No one wants that. Everyone wants to get to the next level. Everyone wants to obtain more items. Everyone wants to obtain bigger maps, more abilities, right? More skill sets. And this is your chakra system. We have 7 major ones, but then we have hidden ones above us and below us that allow us to tap into alternate kingdoms and domains of awareness. And in order to get to those levels, you first have to be at a certain level, right? Like, you're not gonna go fucking take on the Elite Four with 2 badges. Like, you're gonna get fucking rocked. Same thing with this. You don't want to be fucking with magical systems and techniques if you don't have protocols for protection. And yeah, enchantment. Like, if you don't even know how to cast a circle properly or what that even is, right? You're not gonna go take on the head honcho of things. I don't know, it's fucking ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense to me. You can if you want to get obliterated. Like, you know, Kaiba against Exodia in anime terms. But yeah, if you guys get what I'm saying, throw some fucking fire emotes in the chat. I believe that too. Been here 3 to 4 years and keep coming back. What's good, Rez? It's crazy how I'm reuniting with my soul fam right now, and we're learning all this, remembering it, for real. Mysterium? Is that Conjunctionist by Carl Jung? I haven't heard that one from him. I'm gonna look it up. You know I love my book recommendations when they're fire. Thank you, Vision. Thank you for the badge. Hard to forget. Appreciate you, sister. Glad that you're here, too. Goodness. See, wow, thank you. When did you know? I've known all my life. I was born on the cusp of rebirth. We have 2 minutes left on this. I will save this live, though. But yeah, I was born on the cusp of rebirth, so this is literally my last incarnation here. I exited server, I graduated, but then I chose to come back so I can give you guys these informations and create a cohesive system for generations to come. And also be myself and have a human experience here. I'll save it live so you can watch it later. We got 48 seconds left. Alright, before I leave you guys, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting my page and my journey and my vision and who I am. Please continue to, if you fuck with me, if you fuck with information that I share, please do tag my page, post it in stories, get it out there. I'm gonna start a couple campaigns in the next weeks to come, and we're really gonna go hard at the live streaming shit. I'm on Twitch, and I'll be able to screen share so I can show you my studies and images and stuff when you guys ask me questions. It's really dope. And I have a lot of other fire things coming in the works. Shout out music. Thank you for assisting me with that. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I'll catch you soon. Gang, gang.